Welcome to Shorty Supercoach and welcome to another hybrid press conference and weekend preview. I actually went pretty good last week, scored somewhere in the 2,400s, was ranked in the top 2K for the week, and I've moved back up inside the top 6,000. So I wish I did do a press conference because it was one to celebrate. I didn't, sometimes I've, been a bit slow because I haven't checked it, but I was looking forward to checking this one because I felt like I was going all right. But, I don't know. I just partly have had really busy after work sort of stuff. Work's been super busy, but look, also I'm not going to lie to you, the motivation is lacking a touch, but we're here, we're talking Supercoats, so hopefully you can get something out of this video. I mean, James Sicily hurt me dearly, that stings, and I'm sure it would hurt a few, and Max Gawn is still out, and my fantastic plan of Peter Adams, which was foolproof, it was brilliant, has kicked me in the ass. Sometimes Supercoach just has a way of pissing you off in a real particular fashion. And it's done that to me this week. I scored 2,400. I thought, cool, on the way to a real nice score. Then Sicily goes down. Then Peter Adams gets pissed and invites a whole bunch of people over. What are you doing, mate? I mean, how do you get... Oh, come on. But anyway, this is what annoys me about this season. Of all the best laid out plans in the world, it can be unstuck by such a bizarre turn of events that you could never, ever plan for. Of all the players in the league, I brought him in, and all of a sudden. But anyway, I'm not salty about it. So what are we going to do about it? Let's start with Sicily. And to be honest, I don't really know. I don't have a clue what I'm doing right now. The one that jumps out to me is Luke Ryan. He's flying, playing great footy. So he's a reasonably similarly priced option. I like my backline. I liked how it was. I've got Zach Williams. I've got Caleb Daniel. I've got Lloyd. I had Sicily. Who did I bring? Doherty was in there. And Tom Stewart. I really liked it. But now I'm sort of forced to look elsewhere. Ryan does sort of, all those guys I just mentioned who are in my team. If you don't have them, I endorse them clearly. Otherwise, Braden Maynard is dropping a touch. So he's a little bit out of form, but he's a pretty reliable player. And look, Ryan, he's the informed guy. He is the informed guy. So I'm going to have a really good look into it. But my initial thoughts were Luke Ryan. So he certainly looks like the absolute general down there. As for Max Gawn, well, look, if you've kept him at the moment, I mean, I traded in Laddams. I don't know. My plan, as you would have known, was to bring in Laddams. He goes up in price. Gawn comes back, dips a bit in price. A nice little transaction there. I still want to get part of that. Laddams has gone up a touch, not as much as I would like. And Gawn not playing this week means I'll probably have to wait again for him to go down in price. I'm going to put my eggs in the Sam Draper basket. I think I'm just going to see how he goes this week. I've got coverage. If you don't have coverage, then look, you're probably going to have to go to Goldstein now. If you were just hoping that he was going to come back this week, part of me goes, well, you've waited this long. He's definitely going to be back next week. I'd probably just hold him again. But if you're desperately in need of, something's changed and you're going to cop a zero or you just don't want to cop a zero 2 weeks running, then look, Goldstein's your man, I think. Grundy, Goldstein, Gawn, they've been the main men in the Supercoach ruck department for a little bit now. So I'm not telling you anything you don't know there. But, yeah, look, to be honest, guys, I think it's just reiterating a few points that I've said previously. Try and find those rookies and try and find the fallen premiums. Josh Kennedy comes back for the Swans. If you're really strapped for cash, he's going to dip quite a bit in price. Yeah, he's not a top 10 mid anymore, but he's still pretty reliable. And he's going to be cheap as chips. I was going to say the same about Joel Selwood, but, he's missing again this week. So, just can't get the body right. But look, I don't have too much wisdom for you. This week. I'm just going for a cruise. I'm sitting in a car park down at Barwon Heads. Listen to a bit of SEN. Listen to Jared and Hutto. So, not a bad Friday night. Going to duck home and watch the footy in a moment. But, yeah, just Supercoach has just sort of slapped me in the face this week. Just when I thought I was on track for some really good scores and just to continue upgrading, No, it's a get stuffed, shorty. We're throwing a curveball at you. Whatever. But, yeah. If I can venture one bit of wisdom, captains. Now, I pulled out the Josh Kelly a few weeks ago. He scored 190. Part of something says Paddy Cripps tonight. Something says, you know, Dewey, Darwin game. It's going to be on the deck a lot. Something says Cripps. And then there's a little part of me that goes, but would they tag him? Will they tag him? Sometimes Gold Coast do. I don't know. But I was looking at it, and my captaincy options are a little bit slim, you know. You've always got the fullback of Lockie Neal, but, you know, Dangerfield, Fife, I mean, Grundy, but he plays on the Monday. There's a few Giants that you might go with, but they're playing later in the week. So, look, I'm half tempted to go for Cripps. When do the Dockers play? They play... Jesus, I can't even remember who they've got. You guys are probably shouting at me right now. But I feel as if they play earlier they play Sydney, don't they? They play Sydney, and I feel like that's Saturday night. It might be Saturday night, so you might look at that. But I think our end game probably should be Neil, and then try and be a bit creative with your VC. Because at the moment, sometimes the VC can be your biggest point of difference. We've got so many cookie-cutter sides. You know, we all jump on the same blokes. We all end up getting with largely the same premiums. So sometimes your VC can be one of your best point of differences. So, you know, sometimes don't be afraid to go a little bit different. Even if it is a bit safer, make sure you've got a safe captain option to fall back on. But, you know, sometimes go risky with the VC, because how often do we use it? Not always, sometimes, but I've found that, I don't know, 3 times out of 10, 4 times out of 10, I don't know. I'd love to really know, but don't be afraid to take a risk on it. I might go Paddy Cripps tonight. Let's see how we go. All the best.